You guys all hear? I'm talking like I'm not the one on live. You guys hear me? Hi, Thread and Glue. Hi, Marty. Somebody give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Awesome, awesome. People were in here chatting, so I turned my camera on, make sure I was, where I needed to be. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Pam. Hi, Lori. I don't think I've met you before today, so hi. Hi. I figure she can party as long as she wants. Oh, sorry if I made anybody hurl. Hi, Roseanne. My great-grandmother's name was Rose, and I have a puppy dog whose name is Evelyn Rose, so I probably won't forget your name. Hi, Tina. I'm over here shredding paper while I was waiting. Paper. In this case, I was shredding fabric. I'm used to shredding paper. Hi, Anne Marit. Norma! Norma is my neighbor. Well, by neighbor, I mean she's about an hour away. And I need to go see my grandma soon, and she's just around the corner from grandma's house, and I have a box of goodies for her. Raid! You can raid anytime. Hi, Darcy. We've chatted before, but it was a long time ago on your channel, and I didn't have a channel at the time. Hi, Dana. Let me click you and make you if I can figure this out, if it doesn't stop moving so fast. Put user in timeout. No, that's not the right one. Okay. Hi, Southpaw. Awesome, Darcy. I'm glad you're here. Recently, I was watching you redo your craft room and thinking, I definitely need to do that, but probably won't anytime soon. All right. Is my camera too crooked, or can you stand it? It's stressing me out. I keep moving it and making it worse. Hi, Kim. Hi, Diana. Hi, Ellen. Hi, EM. Beck. Okay. I see that. My problem is if I want to see what I'm working on, I need glasses, but to see my screen, I need to take them off. So I'm like a little old lady over here taking my glasses off and on. Hi, Kim, teacher. I missed your live. I apologize. Hi, Vale. I missed your live, Kim. This weekend, I had not expected to do this. And then I had rented a mini skid steer, and we have 6 acres and brambles and briars and all of the fun stuff. So I spent the weekend watching the lives and digging out rose bushes and all of the things. So grooming dogs. I'm a dog groomer in my real life. And like my fingernails show that even though wearing gloves, the skid steer tore the crap out of my hands and probably could use some Band-Aids. Hi, Karen. Lovely cards you made. Hi, Julia. Hi, Lisa. Your lives were real fun this weekend. Oh, no. You have foster fail puppies, too? My foster fail puppy is just over here. Let's see. I'll take a picture of where he's at and then show you because I don't want to move my camera because that's just crazy. Well, here we are. That is Tommy laying directly next to my feet. He was laying on the hardwood floor, so I went and got him a blankie. And it is a Halloween dog blankie, like dogs in costumes, Halloween blankie. So he is festive. Hi, Debbie Epps. Yes, Bonnie, I need about a 2-week nap. I have never been this, okay, I have been this sore, but I used to do strongman competitions and I'm as sore as when I did that. Who have I missed? YouTube. I didn't say hi to you. Yes. This morning, everybody can be jealous because I sent Karen McCoy a picture of baby Tommy getting his first puppy cup because, I mean, who doesn't have that photo? So Tommy actually was not a foster fail at first because he went to a new home with his sister. They took a litter mates, which you should not do. And he did not do well because I had told them that he probably, that, you know, it's hard to make them mind if they're with each other. And he took both dogs home. And 3 months later, he calls me, and I'm in just about Indianapolis. And I get this message, do you want Tommy back? So I drove to St. Louis and got Tommy back because the only reason I had let Tommy go the first place was my dad had just had open heart surgery, and I literally dropped him off to this guy, and this 10-week-old puppy, Tommy, had stood up on the window of this guy's car and watched me drive away. And I knew that I had made a mistake letting him go. And so when he called me, it was all I could do not to be like, HE double hockey sticks, yeah, and like fly over there. So I calmly made an appointment to pick him up, and he got in my truck and he laid his head down on the console, like the thing between the seats, and he stared at me the whole way home. So then we found out that same year that my previous dog had cancer and she passed away, and it was like perfect timing to have Tommy there to, you know, fix my broken heart, and Camilla was able to train him to do it. So it was perfect. So, oh, school tomorrow. My sister's a teacher, so I feel for you. All right. Well, I'm going to pull out some stuff and we'll pretend we're actually working instead of just yapping. It's crooked again. Sorry. It's dressing me out. I'm just going to not look. So when I found out we were doing this, I have to move closer than I think I should be. I was out wandering around, and I love me some Dollar Tree and Dollar General, which now Dollar General is more my favorite, more my bag. Haha, look, bags. Because now that stuff is like $1.50, it's a better price at Dollar General. And so of course you have to be fussy. And I mean, I buy stuff that's not just from these places. Sticker. So I found these treat bags, and I thought, you know, we're always trying to find fabric and we're always trying to do fun, you know, stuff with our, so journal cover made with a treat bag. And if you can't find the treat bag, I haven't been able to download it yet because, again, skid steer. I have made a freebie with a similar, like it'll be paper, but it has texture like it's fabric in the background. And then about 10 or 12 other images you can use if you want to print them for paper to make a little cutesy journal. Of course, you can always do a spooky journal if you have spooky paper. I wanted something that everybody might be able to have fun with. And I have a boatload of this like cutesy kind of Halloween paper that I bought out somebody's stash because, you know, that's how I do. So these are some old, I think some Stampin' Up! And then some other miscellaneous 6x6 papers that were cutesy Halloween. Uh-oh, where's Angie? Angie's going to Walmart. Okay, I need a Cherry Coke Zero if you're out. Oh, yeah, Chi-Town, he does not let me out of his sight anymore. This is why. So he was out there while I was working on the skid steer glaring at me because he couldn't sit in it. Like it didn't have a seat. It's a standing one, little one. And he was very upset with Mom for being someplace he couldn't be. So that is why instead of being 12 feet away from me on a bed, he is 2 feet away from my chair on the floor. I have a 15-year-old daughter standing at the door waving at me for no apparent reason. Oh, I have a package? No, go away. Teenagers, right? She broke her phone and is waiting for her screen so Dad can fix her phone. You would have thought we had a death in the family when her phone broke. Aaron, Tommy is probably about 80% pit bull, American pit bull terrier. His mom was very, very pit bull. I haven't uploaded my freebie yet, YouTube. I was out on the skid steer, so I have it in Canva. I will have to save it after my live, and then I will link it. So the Ko-Fi, I will put my Ko-Fi in the description. And I have another freebie on there from my birthday, and then I'll have that freebie. But anyway, we don't know what the other percentage of Tommy is. He and his siblings were really sick puppies. So, and I don't mean like my friends are sick puppies. That's a different thing. Hi, Concelia. And hi, Joyce, if I've missed anybody. He barks occasionally, and there may be some beagle in there. So, but I tend to pull pit bulls from the shelter. I'm a sucker for bullies. It's an odd thing that I have an older child who is special needs, and they have always been more patient with him than any other breed of dog. So anyway, I guess we'll get to work. I guess somebody throw up a stop sign if I'm missing the party or something. Hi, Jennifer. Jennifer was the first person to send me a birthday card this year. Beat everybody to the punch. And it's purple. It's here someplace close by, but I can't find it. Oh, also, so I'm going to cut this bag apart. And how many of you are junk journalers? Hi, Juju. So do not, if you get one of these bags, which they're $1, actually, I think right now it's buy one, get one 50% off. So they're 75 cents. Don't throw these away because bling, right? Okay. Have to keep all our stuff. Which one do you guys want me to do? Boo or trick or treat? Hi, Vicky. Uh-oh. Really, Casey, you're going to pick the orange one of all people? That's hilarious. Hi, Zena. Oh, speaking of birthday cards, Jenny, who's on here, sent me the first ever card she ever made. Am I counting right? It looks like it's a pretty close to even, but right now Boo is in the lead. $46 people. I think I just missed something because I'm on that stupid top chat. Why would we not want to know what's going on? We want to be involved. All right. Is anybody counting different than me? Is it Boo that won? So I'm not. Don't worry, I will use the trick or treat one too. But I have scissors right here, and I'm trying to break my fingernails, tearing those off. I do, as far as my channel goes, I'm very, very new. I came to meet Ginger Pam through Biddy Penny. I was on her live, and Pam made me laugh a couple times, and then I found out she was on live at all ungodly hours of the day when I'm not sleeping, should be. And so I wandered into her live, and then she convinced me I should probably have a channel, and here I am. And so if it's bad, blame her. And I jokingly call her my YouTube mom for two reasons. She encouraged me, and she is my mother's name was Pam, so she gets kidnapped. So I'm sure if you wanted to take a seam ripper and, you know, do your thing, you could easily do so. So is there anybody here who's never made a cover and this is going to be all new to you? Or is this just, are we just playing? I need to know who I'm talking to. Yeah, Tina, this community is awesome. I used to get cards every year from my grandma. She is 101 and a half now. So I can forgive her for no longer sending me cards, I guess. I'll let it go. All right. So I will remember that, Chi-Town. Do you have a name you want us to call you? Well, I didn't mention you being old. That's on you. By the way, my friend sent me a card yesterday, and she does not make cards, so it was a store-bought one, but it made me laugh because it said, those aren't wrinkles, they're scars from kicking time's ass or something. I don't remember. Sorry about the A word. Warning, we're children here. I think I added Dana already as a moderator. Or did I add somebody else? Did I not do it, Dana? Okay. I'll do it again. Okay. Maybe I added the wrong person. Also, why would I throw an old person under the bus, Pam? That'd be rude. All right. So we have options. The question you have to ask yourself when you have a piece of scrap fabric or any good fun stuff, you know, how much fabric do you have? Because you're going to have to turn some over. Theoretically, you could do a black cover and then just stitch around this and plunk it on the top. But I'm saying we're going to do a real one. So first of all, the printing move over is about 5 inches. So we can easily do a 6-inch piece of paper. And sometimes I'm lazy and don't measure, and I do that. So those are kind of obnoxious on camera. So this one's actually going to be pushing it for 6 inches because we almost don't have enough space to turn over. So we may have to trim with this one because these bags aren't going to be a standard size. Like this one, I obviously had plenty of room to do the 6 inches. So you can, let's pretend I know where stuff that's on my desk is. If you have, this is like 110-pound cardstock. It'll work for a cover. If you want it to be even thicker, you can glue 2 pieces together. Or you can use it as an excuse to have snacks. And we had a party here, so I have tons of these, but I think this one is too cattywampusly cut to do anything. I'm rolling towards my trimmer, but trying not to make Tommy have to wake up because that would be rude. Who makes their life difficult to not wake up their pets besides me? Are you okay, Julie? Do we need to worry about your eyes not working properly, or is it more of a theoretical thing? Yes, I think moving your dog is definitely rude, and Tommy would definitely never forgive me. So let's do 5 3/4 so we have some wiggle room. Excuse the noisy trimmer. And I promise everybody, if you're joining my live now, Tommy's mad that I'm making that noise, so he stomped off to his actual bed. How dare you guys have interrupted Tommy? Because we did the black piece of fabric, we're probably going to be okay as far as light going through it. But if you were using your scrap piece of card, well, wherever I just threw, how does stuff go missing 2 feet from you? But like, you know, if you're using your package from your treats, you may want to cover it with some black paper or something before you wrap it even. That way, like when you're looking at this, you can't see through it. Also, if you see, this is where the glue got a little crazy. This is the crafting gods telling that you need a little spider or something decorative there. It isn't a mistake at all, ever. Just find a way to cover it and move on. So also, if you happen to have kind of thick black cardstock, that would be fabulous. So you could theoretically, if you wrapped this tight enough, not put glue on the front. I do not trust stuff to stay where it's supposed to stay. So I am going to use Fabrifix. I believe the last one is back to Becca or Dana are going to be back. Yes, Karen. Okay. Where is... I don't see Becca, but okay, let me find her. There you are. Got it. Thanks, guys. Did it do it? Yep, you're a moderator. Okay, awesome, awesome. So if you're a complete neat freak, probably this is the time to look away for me because I do not have a squeegee or whatever you would probably want to spread your glue around with. So I'm going to be your typical artist that isn't. Some of us are neat freaks, some of us are not, but I'm going to spread it around so it doesn't do the same thing to that cover that I did the last time. So this reminds me so much of, I was like in, I don't know, some club in school where we did yearbook club or some craziness. I forget what it was even called, but we had what was that glue called? Rubber cement. So we had rubber cement and we would put it on the table and make a ball and see how much, I don't know how we got anything actually done in that stuff. By the way, Dana and Becca, thanks for having us. And see, when I said make sure there's room, that was not enough room, but we'll make it work. Hi, Terry. I'm going to have to send you a different card than the one I put in the envelope because it is someplace in this craft room. I don't know where. See, Darcy, I do need to clean my craft room. Before you guys got here, I was also doing this. So the pieces that are left over, I figure we can make some pretty awesome tassels. I didn't expect judgment, Darcy. One of the things I've always liked is that your craft table looks like you work there instead of like, it's like the people who work on their dining room table. I'm like, what even are you doing in there? Not that you can't work on your dining room table, but I'm like, my dining room table, I one time decided I would make Christmas ornaments, and it's an antique table, and you guys know what crazing is, right? Like little tiny cracks. It still has Grinch green glitter in it. Like 8 years later. Oh no, I'm sending you the card, Terry. I have other ones. I made several that day. And it's World Card Making. Yesterday was World Card Making Day, and I am on a mission because that makes this upcoming week World Card Sending Week. So if you've got anybody that you think about and you're like, I should send them something, this is the week to do it. I mean, well, it's always the time to do it. See, this desk is technically a table, but I have paper, and then I have Altenew board, and then I have a magnet board. That way there's like 4 layers before I destroy the table. I did not miter that corner well enough. So it's like Chi-Town, if you haven't done this before, it's kind of like wrapping a present. You gotta make sure that corner is tucked in one way or the other, or you're gonna have a bobble at the corner. Not, again, they're junk journals. If there's a bobble, people will survive, I'm sure. Yeah, I barely gave myself enough corner over here. I cannot wait till my new tripod gets here because I'm having to work farther away from my body. Well, the good news about the bad at wrapping hit or miss thing is after this, we get to cover the back up with some stuff. So then you can pretend it was perfect. So, and if we were doing the back, you could pick paper or you could do whatever. But the nice thing about these bags is that there's a plain black piece. Like we obviously have the next option right here, which is, get down little piece. So we have the back of the bag, so we can do the back panel of the journal. Oh, stuck more to my finger than the board. All right. So we could just cover this up with black, but this paper is pretty thin. So I am going to take a piece of my pattern paper and let's do that. Make it the back of my front cover. Okay, how many of you are measurers and how many of you are wing it? Because it feels like it makes us very distinctly, like I can go both. I can do both. Like I did, worked on a Habitat for Humanity house recently. And when we did that, they were like, okay, who wants to measure for the pipes? And I'm like, I got this. And the guy's trying to tell me, and I'm like, dude, my dad was a steam fitter. Just go. And he said he's never had to not second guess a volunteer before. Like he put the cabinet up, holes went right where they belong. So I was pretty happy with myself. I figured Dad was proud of me in, heaven. I like it, Bonnie. I'm more of that's why I buy extra paper kind of person. I want to be a measure twice, cut once person, but crafting for me is it's a release. Like I groom dogs for a living. Obviously I have to be very detailed, because I'm working on the equivalent of a journal that jumps around and might try to bite you. So yeah. Okay. Sorry. My daughter's insisting that I stop to tell her I love her. Love you. Mercy. Before anybody feels bad for like a toddler in my house, she's 15. So, but anyway, she took off. I'll tell her you love her too, Karen. So Karen's always slapping paint on paper, and I'm over here just slapping paper on whatever, because it, it's also like at Christmas, I make about 200 Christmas cards because I donate them to the nursing home. So I do everything from very detailed cards to like I go and find an easy, like Jess Crafts makes some things where you take a 12 by 12 piece of paper to make 10 cards, and I make them, and I decorate them all individually. But so there's our front cover. Depending on how you feel about how thick you want your cover and what you're going to do with it, you might have wanted to double that paper. I'm not too concerned because I'm going to have to trim all my papers in order for it to fit. So I just ran through that in like world record time. All right. So now I will measure because I'm going to cut multiples. I just had an idea. They're not the same size though. Frack. If they were the same size, we could do a two-fronted, like an accordion journal where both ends are fronts. So, but also, look, this was not intentional. Right, measuring does cause me hives, Karen. I'm allergic to everything, including measuring. All right, so because we're going to do multiples of this, it'll be easier just to measure it than to put a tick mark on it. So right at 5 3/4, so we'll just go 16 or so back from that. Let me make sure it's square before I do anything stupid. What in the heck? It is. Oh, also, yeah, guys, if you've been running to any of the hops and you've joined and subbed, like last night I was up to a certain number and then I was down 5 again today, even though it was literally last night. So just remember to go back, come back, get the freebie from me, make a comment on another video. I did an unboxing of paper and a spooky, like the Flow magazine and some other stuff this week. So like this gorgeous masterpiece from Barnes and Noble. So heck, take a look at that, watch it, put it on, go do your dishes, come back, put a like, that way you stay on here and we can all hang out. I love this community, by the way. If anybody's, new to going to lives and stuff, it's been an awesome thing to have people who get that, you spend all your time in your craft room messing around. Tommy is real mad. That piece of paper just fell on top of him. He is the most dramatic dog too. When things go wrong, he stomps. Like, if you're in line at Starbucks and there's people in front of you, he will throw himself down in the seat. Uh-oh. What are we congratulating April for? Julie, I think they take subscriptions away because they think that it's like, obviously you did something, a whole bunch of people joined at once. You must have cheated. So obviously that's not the case. But that's how I guess they see it. All right. So I'm going to take a minute and figure out how to show you how to make the kind of spine that I like to make when I'm doing a little simple journal like this. I'm trying to decide if this paper is a decent enough thickness. So I'm going to make it the right thickness real quick. I'm going to have to get like a Tommy cam so that you guys can see him over there like having a tantrum. It'll be like Pam's channel. Like everybody comes to see Harley. People will just come to see Tommy because he's something. I have clients who come to see him. And the funny thing is Tommy chooses who he likes. And I believe him when he says he doesn't like somebody. He tends to, sometimes I think it's because it's a client I don't like as much, but sometimes it doesn't matter. He has certain people and he gets up from his bed and he makes sure that he goes and sees them and they better speak to him. So, I did this the other day to make a journal because I don't love rings for like ring binding. And if that's your jam, it's completely your jam. And why is it doing this? But I don't like the feel of it, I guess. And I have like a mini cinch, but not everybody does. So I was trying to think of a way to make journal pages that would work. And so I'm sure how many of you guys have all seen the accordion thing you do where you accordion it and you put the pages on. And that's kind of where I was with it. But then I decided that I wanted a gap between those spaces. So, I need to do a quick, this is where the math comes in. Count how many pages I have. It'll be, so each page will be 2. They'll have to be glued back to back like this to cover the little hinge. So we have 6 pages, so we need 3 hinges. So we're going to do, my scrap paper is a hot mess. We need to do 1 inch to start and then 1/2 inch for each thing. And then a 1/4 inch gap, 1/2, 1/4. And then 1 inch. Uh-oh. Not too shabby. Who's not too shabby? Are we talking about the paper company or? Oh, my YouTube never notifies me of anything. So you would do this literally for every. They have cool paper, and I missed. They had a whole Pitbull 4th of July set of paper, and I missed it. So you could figure out. You could go, okay, that's 3/2 inches. Blah. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna score. My tripod's attacking my paper. I'm just going to score those, and when I run out of where I'm supposed to score, I'm going to cut it off. So we take the line that we've just made. If you have a normal scoreboard, have at it. I like this trimmer because it does both things. So then we need to do 1/2 inch. Oh my gosh, now it's my magnets. Finding the line is not fun when it happens to fall where the line isn't. Good news is this is not as much of a crisis. And if you have one of these trimmers, and I just did that wrong on my paper. So you'll need 2 of these 1/2 inches. So it'll be 1/2, 1/2, and then 1/4. 2. So we have to make one more. And then I just put a quarter where I didn't need it. We'll just make that part of the inch. Well, I like 20s or 50s the best, Karen, but you know, not as young as I used to. You just don't get the same money for dancing. Oh, that's not what we're talking about. I'm kidding, by the way. Probably should have a warning. I think it says snarky in my description, but we act like teenagers. My children will sometimes be like, "You're so embarrassing," and I'm like, "That is my goal." Actually, my daughter kind of thinks it's funny because it mostly embarrasses my son. And he's the older of the two, and she thinks it's hilarious that he gets ridiculous. I have 3 kids, a 27-year-old with cerebral palsy and severe behavioral issues. And I have 2 bonus children, 15 and 16-year-olds. And sometimes I think I should take up drinking. So by doing this with our folds, what I've created, and oh Lord, black was not a good choice. Okay, here we go. I'm going to glue these, right, to each of these together so that they become, but this little gap, this little 1/4 inch gap means when you put your papers together, you have room for all the crap we like to put, I mean, lovely stuff that us junk journalers like to put in our stuff. So also, I'm not usually one to tell you what tools you should have, but you should totally have one of these. So I'm in my 50s now. So I have learned that my hands are very important to me having a business. And so I put off buying one of these because, like, oh my gosh, it's so expensive. But first of all, I think I saved glue with it. And I definitely save my hands. And again, dog groomer, make money with my hands. All right. Tommy wants a GoFundMe for his crowdfund for a Tommy cam. So you guys can see how pitiful he is because no one's telling him how bad his life is. Oh, it's My Sweet Petunia. And it's a precision glue press. And do not let your foster dog chew it, because then the handle doesn't work properly, but it still works. Yeah, Darcy, you totally need one. It's, I think currently it comes with like an empty bottle and 2 bottles of glue. I do not make any money from them, by the way. And it's like Nuvo glue, which is good glue, but I have since replaced what's in here with art glitter glue. And so it literally, the glue bottle pops in there and then it sits in this little doohickey, and that's silicone. So it can sit there. I've left it as many as 2 days and it's not clogged up. And then this used to be a really pretty, look like a jewel, but also foster dog. That was Polly, mama dog. She had 8 puppies here, so she got away with some stuff. But this has the little needle in it. So I've had it sit here for 2 days and then, like, crap, I forgot to put the lid on, and poke this back in and it worked again. So, but it's like you squeeze the trigger once and you have so much more control. I mean, it's called a precision press for a reason. Also, I did this, we'll say with it, I did this on purpose to teach you what not to do. Don't put your front cover on. Like, don't put this back plate on until you've glued your spine on. I usually do stuff where like I'll make an actual spine and sew in signatures. So my brain was elsewhere. So how are we on time? We're good. But you see, Darcy? Right, Bonnie? I think if you use it, as long as you're in your craft room occasionally, also pick your thing up, make sure that you're putting it on the right way because, I've been known to, but I guess then we just have a sideways journal because we just do what we do. So line that up with your edge. So you know what this means? Now we have to put a pocket, like a side tuck here, so it looks like we did this on purpose. I am not going to make a back cover because of time. So what I will do is I'm going to try to pick favorite pages and then back them with less favorite pages. I mean, I don't ever want to say paper I don't like because I love paper. That's why I'm here. For what it's worth, I do have, I am technically a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And so that means I do have a site if you ever need anything, but I do not, I am such a, I use what I have person that I could never just be like, you have to buy this because that's just crazy. There's too much good stuff out there. Oh my God. I literally told you guys not to glue this on the wrong side and I glued it on the wrong side. We need to change the what not to do channel. Don't do that. It's paper. We can fix it. I have Halloween washi tape to fix things with. Okay, this is the hinge side. So I started my channel about 3 weeks ago. Is that right, Pam? And this is my 4th live, maybe, including, a couple where I joined in, like with Di on her channel. See, ta-da, on purpose. Anyway, which papers did I have out before I lost my mind? Okay, they should be both punched, so this should not be difficult. I'd like to pretend it's the creating and talking that's the problem. I literally have squirrel moments that I'm not even sure what planet I'm on. So I'm actually going to just glue 3 sides because this side, actually I'm going to glue it onto the flap first. Can you guys see me? All right. I'm going to make life easy I'm going to set this one here. Thanks, Jennifer. By the way, Karen, I have been stalking my mailbox for your card. I am ridiculously excited about it. So now I've put that side of the flap down. If you had 12 by 12 paper that you would cut, you could fold it in half and literally sandwich it here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue on this flap. I really wish, Darcy, I could show you how little pressure I have to put on this to get the glue to come out. Like, the amount of time I fought with glue and the amount of glue I shot across my craft room was stupid. So now line up your corners. And we all know that if your corners don't line up, oh my gosh, my family cannot cope with me being out of the room for 2 seconds, apparently. That's what you get your ink out for. Oh my gosh. Hoarding change. I don't intentionally hoard change. But I tend to just throw my change like in the car. There's a cup. If you need to rob me, that's where it's at. And then there's like change on top of the dryer and change on. So there's change here. My husband's outside the door now, outside the sun porch door, waving at us now. Creepy, creepy, creepy guy. I'm going to wait to punch this one to put it back on because it didn't come out even. So cute ghosties now. So I'm going to line this up with the pages below. And then actually I need to tuck it into that little crevice there. But make sure top to bottom it's lined up. And I could have made this the full height of the journal, but this is just to hold the pages in. And then when we put the back on, we will put a little spine on the back of this, glue a little spine on it, and decorate it. Probably I will wrap a little extra fabric around the whole thing. Hi, Hen. Hi, Di. I didn't see you sneak in. Glad I wasn't talking crap. This time. Black on black there. I can't see the edge of my paper. The sun was killing us all day today. And obviously, if you just wanted to glue these pages together and not make pockets, you could do that. But, I mean, why would we not make pockets? Oh, yeah. I was talking about being on your live. I wasn't actually talking crap this time. I don't know. I did rent a skid steer to clean out my run-in shed. So all weekend we've been actually talking crap. All right, we have decisions to make. Frick. Spooky skull or kitties? I know what Pam's voting. Or do we just do skulls and kitties together? That way we get both. And leave out the haunted house. Together. Hi, Brenda. Casey is next. Stalker. I love Casey. This is just, I feel like we have the coolest community. Like people who get each other, people who, you know, we come together, we share some of the same hobbies. Heck, there are people in some of the lives and I'm like, that person doesn't do anything close to what, but we appreciate that art is art and that even if it's a different thing than you do or a different style, or if you're a measure twice, cut once person, or you're a slap it together kind of person, like we're all kindred spirits. And if we're not, we know how to like walk away and find a group that we can fit into, because I mean, we're kind of in a cool world right now where we do have this option to, you know, meet people. I remember, I mean, I went to college, I went to school, and like my people weren't always available in my tiny little school. Like the people who I thought that would be cool to hang out with didn't always exist in tiny little Eminence High School. I graduated high school from a class of 29. But then I went to Purdue University. So, you know, I've been on both ends of that. And I also studied abroad for part of my university education in Australia, New South Wales. Di, the messy palette here, is in Queensland. We traveled up where she lives and went to the rum factory. 103, that's huge. No, not really. My kids are in classes of 500 because they actually could go to the high school I went to. I bought land out by where my dad had lived. But I really wanted them to go to a school where they had a chance of winning a basketball game instead of course, neither of them ended up playing basketball, but it was the thought that counted. Okay, I'm trying to make these match. It's never going to happen, so we're just winging it. And I'm back off camera again. I'll give you guys my husband's cell phone number. You can text him and be like, order the tripod. All right, so we do not have a back panel we've made yet. Shall we just throw the pumpkin on the back so we have a two-sided? No, he's not the right size. Dang it. All right, so if we had a back panel, because we're pretty close on time, so I guess I could, you know, we would glue him on and glue a back page on. And then before you cover your spine here, if you're going to put ribbon or any goodies on, this is the time. So I think I got this last year on clearance, but look at it. I mean, do we go matchy-matchy with the boo? Or like purple eyeballs? Pam's going to say kitties again. What I think the best part of Bundy rum, Di, we're going to go on a rum kick here because Bundy rum, I turned 21 in Australia and I was legal there before I turned 21. So one of my first drinks was rum and Coke in Australia. And so I hate rum anywhere else. But they burn the crops down. They like torch the field. So you get that flavor. And then they age it in white oak, which is basically from my backyard here in Indiana. And so it has a depth of flavor other rums don't have. So like I go someplace and order a rum and Coke and I'm like, this is crap. So, and speaking of which, Di, I need more rum. Put color with it, a different color. Well, purple is always going to be my go-to. I really like these eyeballs. Let's do eyeballs. So before you were to cover your back panel, if you want to have a tie, you're going to want to tie it now. And so because this has the boo, you're going to want to think about tying this way or even possibly making a tie that goes like this. So when you're done, when it unties, it's not in the way. It's completely up to you. You can also put ties in the front cover or don't do a tie. Tina, you have to try some Bundy rum. I can't think of anything here that comes close to the flavor. But anything that has that, like the bourbon, you know, flavor, that white oak, umami flavor, add that to a really good rum and you. Oh my gosh. So you said your shot of Jack, girl, hold on. While we're talking booze. Haha, boo, boo, booze. See, it's all tied in. Move, glue press. Hi, Angie. Causing trouble, as always. Hi, Amy. Oh my gosh. Hi, Yolanda. I didn't see you until just now. I feel famous because I love your stuff. So this is my Crown Royal Blackberry journal. Do they have boxes? does the Bundy come in boxes usually? I don't usually bring it home. When I've brought it home, I haven't brought it home in boxes because it's all about getting as much stuff in my bag as possible. Drinking doesn't change my attitude. It takes whatever current mood I'm in and accelerates it. So I can't drink when I'm sad. So since we only have 3 minutes left, I'll just be, here's a little tag I made. I don't even remember what this was from. Like, it was a scrap thing. And then it's to go in here. So this is my very, very first hardback journal that I made myself. And I used, we had a couch that we were throwing away. So I used the leather, faux leather off of it. And then here are they're not all sewn in yet. Uh-oh. Pam. Mushrooms. Pam doesn't like mushrooms. She doesn't understand the obsession. But yeah, so, and this is all the stuff I intend to decorate it with. But my problem with Halloween stuff is I start working on it and then I realize I'm going to be behind on Christmas cards because I make so many and then I lose my mind. So I go off the deep end. And I also got these for our cute little journal. So I love cutesy. I love by Kim. I love all of it. Like, that's the problem is I will do a cutesy thing and then the next second I'm doing that. Oh, it's Vale here. Sorry, Vale. No, it didn't give you a warning. I know. I think, Casey, is this a Hobby Lobby brand? I don't shop a lot at Hobby Lobby, but every now and then I'm like, I need a specific thing. And you're welcome, Ellen. Thanks for coming. I came back to my chair and it did this, like, I'm like 4 inches lower than I was a minute ago. So I'm trying to figure out why I'm down here. But yeah. Is Frida here? I haven't seen Frida, but this is the stamp set that I bought myself, and I bought her a spare one because she's a Alice in Wonderland nut. Thank you, Amy. Oh yeah, I actually don't drink a lot, Brenda, because I'm very good at drinking. Like, the only time I've ever been drunk enough to be a problem was in Australia because nobody else can drink like that. Can you order from Michael's there, Hen? I am actually Central Indiana. Tina, are you also in the region, Chicagoland? Bye, Karen. Well, I'm shipping some to Frida, so let me know if I've got to send more stuff to. Bye, Pam. I'll see you guys over at Casey's. Bye, Yolanda. Oh, awesome. I go to Kentucky a fair bit for horse shows and stuff. So, all right, everybody. Bye, Anna Marit. Head over to Casey's. Go hassle him. Awesome, Bonnie. My bestie is in Chicago. So I don't go up very often because it's chaos, and he's chaos taking a walk. You have a chariot taking you to the back 40? Oh, awesome, Tina. I love Cincinnati. There's German food first. And then the aquarium. Good night. I'm going to watch Casey, and then I've got to go out and tear out some more rose bushes because I know how to party. You were born in Cincinnati? It is really a cool. Every time I go, I find something new I like there. But if I was moving, I would move even further south because I hate the winters. So Casey Street is up next. I don't have a link for her, so hopefully somebody popped it in there. Should I sing Swing Low, Sweet Chariot? All right. Bye, guys. Thanks for coming. Where did I put my mouse? There you are.